Is Wrath a school appropriate name?
Okay, who is still waiting to join? Okay, going 3. Okay, Maggie. Every time. About 30 seconds.
6, 3, 8, 4, 3, 8.
I did I read the word game pin at first as game pain.
Okay, Maggie, are you in? Okay. Anyone else waiting? Good? Okay. Which dynasty began governing under the feudal system? Okay. So majority of you said Shang, which is good. That was the first dynasty that we discussed with the feudal system. So the nobles governing their own mini kingdoms within the larger kingdom. Which dynasty created the first centralized system of government?
Got it wrong.
Majority of you said Shin, which is great. Which dynasty standardized the writing system? So most of you said the correct answer. James, why did you choose that?
Because I told him.
What made you think it was that dynasty? What's the key word in that sentence?
Standardized.
Standardized, so kind of making things the same. So he's not the first person to invent the writing system, but he's the one that made it uniform across the Chinese Empire. In which dynasty did silk making begin? So good, most of you did say Shang. What is silk made out of, Nathan? Silkworm. Good. Which dynasty rebuilt the grain reserve?
Darn it, I keep on getting these wrong.
So most of you did say Swiss. Stephen, you just said you did get that one right? Why did you think that one? Total yes? Or is there something that led you to that? What happened before the Sui came into power? Period of chaos for, was it 10 years, 20 years? Few hundred years, right? So no one was quite in power yet for that time period, and so the food really dwindled. There wasn't really anyone doing this control in the government. And so the first thing that this dynasty did when they came in was rebuild the food supply for the reserves of food. Good. Again, before I go on, no shouting out the answers. I definitely heard sweet across the room. Which dynasty began building sections of the wall? So, some of you may be a bit confused. So, who said that? Who chose this one? Lauren. Why?
Because I remember they started it and then everyone else added on to it.
Exactly. So they started these kind of the less developed, smaller sections of wall that were not connected. And then the later dynasties are the one that bridge the gap between these smaller sections of wall. But it was this dynasty that started building them. Which dynasty invented stirrups? Okay. For the most part, you got that correct. Erin, are you clapping for yourself? Did you choose the Han Dynasty? Good. Okay, what was stirrups used for? Traveling? Traveling on what? For stirrups? Horses. What would you use the stirrups for traveling? For your foot, right? That's what you would put your feet into that would give you more control. What was the other invention in a different dynasty related to horses? Okay, eyes on tell. Saddles, which dynasty? How did they find out about it?
The terracotta army.
The terracotta army. They saw it on the horses in the army. Good. Which dynasty standardized weights and measures? What is the key word in that sentence? Beckham? Standardized. Yes. The Shin dynasty standardized everything. Which dynasty introduced money? Okay. So good. Most of you chose the correct answers. So I think they talked about it in the film as well, that they kind of had this not very convenient money system to carry around. It was in the shapes of like swords and sharp-looking things.
That's really weird.
Money was continued to be developed in other dynasties, but this one was the first to have introduced money. Which dynasty innovated bronze technology? Who chose Shang? Raise your hand. Alina, why did you choose the Shang dynasty? Yeah, and what else have they made that helped them defeat others? We're going to be using weapon. Very light sword with more of a wand. I can see why you were confused. Good. So weapons and this innovative bronze technology that helped them conquer this first movie highlighting kind of not quite dynasty, but this group that was in Asia previously. Which dynasty invented paper? Good. Yanni, do you remember the year that they invented paper?
One.
What do you think, Selena?
I don't remember.
What were you trying to tell her?